In this video, I want to take you through a 5-day morning, afternoon, and evening routine to prepare for a project finance interview. So what I'm suggesting here is just 5 days of self-study for you, and all the materials, most of the materials, let's say, that I am recommending here are free and you can download them on the internet. There is only one book that I want to recommend you to buy to understand better the concepts. Also, another disclaimer, maybe 5 days might be quite intensive. So if you need more time, just make sure that you go through the materials that I'm suggesting. But if it takes 5 to 10, even 10 days, that's just fine. So before we start, definitely you need to go and get this book. If you want to get involved in the world of project finance, then that book will become very handy. The Principles of Project Finance by Professor Yescambe. The book is available in different languages as well. It is written, in a very simple way, and most of the project finance concepts and things that really are also practical are explained in the book. So that's the only book that you need to get. The rest of the materials, I'm going to mention that you can just download them for free. So just a quick overview of the schedule. It has 5 days. Morning sessions are mainly theory, reading books, and the recommendations that I have for you. Afternoon session are practical sessions where you are working on a case study or improving your Excel skills. And evening is just some soft readings. All right, so day one. Day one, you start your day by reading the chapter 2 and the chapter 3 from Professor Yescambe's Principle of Project Finance book. This reading is going to make you understand what project finance is and the different concepts around project finance, who the stakeholders are. And if you have more time, then I am also recommending 2 videos from Professor Edward Bodmer. So each of them is like 1 hour. So you have 2 hours of content, which are again explaining the essence of project finance in a very simple way, but it really goes beyond what the basics are. So I found these materials quite useful for you for the first session. So by the end of these readings, now you must have a better understanding of what project finance is and why it is needed. So in the afternoon, you're going to sit down and work on your Excel skills. When it comes to financial modeling for project finance, there are a number of limited functions that we usually use in Excel. So if you're already comfortable with Excel, you can skip these sessions. And you can go straight away to the day 2 afternoon session. However, if you still think that you're not very familiar with Excel, then I prepared a case study. Actually, I am building it with AI. So it's a very simple, let's say, exercise file, which is going to take you through the main Excel functions. I will upload it by the time I will post this video. I'm still just finalizing it. So either this one or any other, work file that you can get your hands on and start working on your Excel skills. And if you have any of the AI chatbots inside Excel, then you can also use it as a guide to teach you the different things by creating exercises for you. So that's about the afternoon session for day 1. Then in the evening, Since it's a boot camp, I told you up front it's a boot camp, so morning till night, that's the only thing that should be on your mind. It's just project finance. So by the time you reach, you're in the night and just before bed, so now you can still be in that same environment. However, you can just read something softer. What I'm suggesting is this book, How Big Things Get Done. To me, it was a fascinating book to read, which tells you about the stories and the problems in real projects. Or, watch any other videos that talks about construction, talks about infrastructure. And these whole things are going to, as I said, open up your vision to what is expected once you get the position that you are hoping for. So day 2 is all about lenders. You go and read the chapter 5, Working with Lenders, from Professor Yescombe's book, and chapter 14 about project finance, loan documentation. So these 2 chapters are going to give you an overview of how lenders look at projects, what are the metrics that they are interested and they are monitoring, and basically the long list of loan documentation and covenants and requirements that are imposed from lenders to the project and the project company. Also, what I recommend is that during this morning session, I also recommend that you go and look at the different manuals that are available. Most of the development agencies and development banks and these big players, big agencies that are funding infrastructure projects, they also publish different manuals about their due diligence process and what are their requirements. So I am listing some of them here from African Development Bank. This one I put first from South Africa National Treasury. I found it to be quite comprehensive. So you just go and check these manuals to better understand the project from the point of view of lenders. So after in day 2, after your lunch break, then in the afternoon session, it's time to start thinking about the financial modeling of project finance deals. To start off, what I'm suggesting is for you to focus on more the financial model design and structure. And I have a course which is a free to enroll course, but it's going to take you through the different aspects of a financial model when it comes to only design and structure. So day 3, morning session, you can start now learning about financial structuring and financial modeling. And the 2 chapters are from Yescombe's book, chapter 12 and chapter 13. The purpose of these readings are for you to understand concepts like debt sizing, debt sculpting, different financing instruments, and different covenants and requirements that the lenders are imposing on deals. And if you have some time left, you can go and check out those manuals from the development agency to learn more about lenders' requirements. Day 3 afternoon, that's when you can start working on financial models. So Professor Botmer, on his website, on this page, he has a number of videos and exercises to take you through building a financial model from A to Z. It's quite comprehensive, so try to go through most of the content, as many as you can, and this is going to really give you not only the basics but also more advanced stuff when it comes to project finance modeling. Day 4 morning session, you can start learning about commercial risk, macroeconomic risk, regulatory and political risk, all from Professor Yescombe's chapter. So this session, these readings are going to give you an idea about what are the key risks in project and how they are mitigated. And then in the afternoon session of this day, you can, of course, if you did not have the time to complete the exercises from Professor Bodmer's website, you can take your time to complete those exercises. However, at some point in this working with different files, you will have a working model with different components. So what you can do is to iterate the model with an AI model, meaning that you just give it to one of your LLMs, whichever you're comfortable with, and ask it to review it for you and flag where maybe you did some mistakes. And so you can do several iterations with AI, and it's also going to help you to understand better things and to understand from your own mistakes. So last day, day 5, it's all going to be about financial modeling and Excel work. You see, some of the institutions, companies, when they are hiring financial modelers or any position that require financial modeling, what they do is that they have a process during their interview when they are testing you for your financial modeling skills. And what they do is that they're going to give you a case study, a write-up of a fictional project, and they're going to ask you to build a financial model for it. Sometimes they provide you a template where you have to fill up the remaining components. Sometimes it's up to you to build everything from scratch. So you need to get prepared for such a test, and it's also a very good way to understand and improve your financial modeling skills. So the whole day you're going to spend at doing this kind of tests and exams. Professor Edward Bodmer, on his website, he has a number of these cases, the real one from different companies, which he has been helping people for many years going through these tests. And so he has collected a number of them, and he's providing these tests on his website, some of them also with the answers that he has provided. But so you go through one of these case studies, you pick one of them, and you start building a financial model for it and following the instructions. Once you have done that, so you can maybe do one in the morning, just spend 2 hours building it, and then do a couple of iteration again with AI to make sure that you got it right, and learn from your mistakes. Afternoon session, again on the same day, choose another case study and repeat and do another model, and then make sure that you check to understand where you made mistakes. If you go through this, I would say this 5 days boot camp, I think by the end of it, and if you are really disciplined, like you have to really follow from morning to night and put yourself in this position, then I think you have the basics that can get you through this type of interviews. And of course, most of the things are just, learning by doing. And so those things you are going to learn. However, these basic things are going to be sufficient to show that you have the skills to accompany a team throughout the different life cycles of a project finance transaction. So thank you very much. Next video is going to be about the use cases of AI when it comes to project finance modeling. Thank you and bye.